بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على خير الأنبياء والمرسلين وحبيب إله العالمين أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد وعلى آل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين. Distinguished guests, dear brothers and sisters, and dear children at home, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to another episode of Verses of Love, the mini Husaini edition. This is the Majlis after the Majlis. It's a place where all of the young and aspiring servants of Imam Hussein alayhi salam are given the opportunity to either lecture or give a poem, or they can recite in the name of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Today's episode is dedicated to the daughters of Karbala. So we know there are many female figures that our young daughters, our sisters, our mothers can connect to, i.e. Sayyidah Zainab alayhi salam, al-Baneen alayhi salam, you have Rabab, for example, Layla. You have many different characters that people can associate with and connect with. But you children at home watching the show, you can also connect to those who were young, who were in Karbala. And specifically we're talking about the daughters. There are many different daughters and young girls who were present in Karbala that suffered so much. So how can you as a young person connect to those people and be able to better your lives and be better Muslims and better lovers of Imam Hussein alayhi salam? Here to discuss this and to lament and to eulogize the daughters of Karbala in honor of Fatima al-Alila. So I think in some cultures, some societies, they call her Fatima Sughra. Myself in the Iraqi culture, we call her Fatima al-Alila, the one who was sick and was not able to join Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam, the daughter of Imam al-Hussein who wasn't able to join Imam al-Hussein on the journey from Medina to Iraq. Here to discuss her and many other personalities when it comes to the daughters of Karbala is the lecturer for today, Hussein Teft. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
We also have the poet, Sayhan Jetta, who's also joining us. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
And we have once again the reciter, Murtaza Akbar Ali, joining us as well from Kent, as you mentioned last episode. It's a pleasure to have you all on the show. One question that all you dear young ones out there can benefit from and also have a think about, because we're going to ask our guests as well. And the question is this, and I'm going to go to Sayhan first of all. When it comes to, in the last episode, if you remember, I asked you, when you go into the mosque, what can you do? What's within your capabilities at your age that you can serve, right? And I think you said, I help with the chairs, for example. But when you're looking at the adults and them leading the majlis, them organizing the majlis, which particular role do you look at and think, I'd like to do that if I was able?
So I think I've always admired lecturers, because I think it's really incredible to be able to share this love of Imam Hussein and being able to make others benefit from it.
Fantastic, brilliant. And Murtaza, what about you?
When I'm older, I would like to give out Sabil.
Sabil? What's that?
It's like Fatiha and food.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah. So you want to give out. So when you go into the mosque and you see the people, I think in Istanbul you have that white cloth that goes on the floor and people sit on the floor and eat niyaz, right? So you want to be the people that's giving it out.
Yeah.
Okay, inshallah. Well, maybe you can start off by doing what Hussein does, and he gives out the spoons, right? So maybe you can start off by saying, listen, can I give out the spoons, or can I give out the cups, or can I do something small? And then you can get onto the big trays of niyaz, inshallah, in the future. Hussein, aside from lecturing, because you're on that path anyway.
Yeah.
But
Wallah, help cook as a food.
I see.
Yeah, and Alex Sawadat, as it's kind of dangerous, if you know what I mean.
What's Alex Sawadat for the people?
Oh, my bad. Place the black cloth around.
So hanging up the black cloth. Okay, all right. So do you watch them when they're doing it every single year?
I watch it every single year, and I always ask, can I do it? And the same response, next year.
Well, no, inshallah, they'll give you an opportunity to put up the black, and hopefully, are you in and around the kitchen when they're cooking?
Yeah, I'm in there, like, they need help. They're like, give me this, I'll go and get it for them, yeah.
All right, fantastic. So we have one person who wants to give out the niyaz, another person who wants to cook the niyaz, and someone who wants to talk about that to the audience out there as well. So, Hussein, I'm going to start with you, if it's okay. And I guess we're talking about Fatima al-Alila,
Yes.
right? And for those of you, especially the young viewers who don't know who this lady is, I think you're going to give us
Yes.
a very brief description
Yes.
about who Fatima al-Alila is.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Imam Hussein alayhi salam named every single one of his sons Ali, but at least they named Ali. But if they were named Ali, they had their nicknames. For example, Ali al-Akbar or Ali al-Asghar. The same way for his daughters, as he said, if I have 1,000 boys, I would name them Ali. And if I had 1,000 girls, I would name them Fatima. But just like the boys, the girls also had their nicknames. Fatima al-Alila, according to some narrations, was the middle child of 3 daughters of Imam al-Hussein. The eldest is Fatima al-Kubra, and the youngest is Fatima, but we know her as Sayyidah Ruqayya alayhi salam. And the middle is no other than Fatima al-Alila alayhi salam. Now, people ask, why is she named al-Alila? Well, because her plight is a very special one. It's because everybody, Sayyidah Ruqayya, Fatima al-Kubra, Sayyidah Zainab, they all went to Karbala with their father. But Fatima al-Alila was sick. She had to remain in Medina because she could not accompany her father in Karbala. And this is the most painful thing, as she was not able to say goodbye to her father, and she had this sense of bitterness until she passed away. The same way we would mourn Imam al-Hussein on the 10th night, which is the most painful and most difficult night. Imam al-Hussein is leaving a part in Medina. Just how Sayyidat Fatima al-Zahra was mu'jatu qalb al-Nabi, Fatima al-Alila was mu'jatu qalb al-Hussein, as it really pains him to keep his beloved daughter back in Medina. This honorable young lady we are commemorating tonight by the name of Fatima, and everybody knows how dear the name Fatima is to Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. It's enough for you to just say Fatima, and you would see Abu Abdullah al-Hussein sit down and remember his beloved mother. One of the things that al-Bani did, which she told Amir al-Mu'minin, she said, Ya Ali, do not call me Fatima, and I do not want the hearts of the children of Fatima al-Zahra to break in remembrance of their mother. So the name Fatima is very dear to Imam al-Hasan al-Hussein. So do not, if you have someone by the name of Fatima in your household, do not raise your voice at them. Just so you can just remember how Imam al-Hussein and Hasan would long to hear the name Fatima.
Ahsant. So that was a very, very good description of, I mean, there's not many narrations
Yes.
and historical accounts that speak about Fatima al-Alila's plight, but what we know is that, you know, it's very sad. Like, you know, if, for example, and my daughter does this as well, like when I leave the house, she'll say, Baba, where are you going? And I have to explain it to her. Baba, I'm, for example, going to work, or I'm going, when she sees me wearing the dishdasha, she'll say, Baba, do you have a majlis? Which is nice. But it's very painful for the young daughter when not only is it just her father who's leaving, but she sees her sisters and her cousins and her aunties and her uncles and her brothers, and all of them are preparing for something quite serious to happen. But she's, you know, no one's telling her, can you get your things ready? No one's telling her, can you prepare yourself? So it's quite sad what we know of that's happened to Fatima al-Alila. So Fatima al-Alila is just one daughter, should we say, one girl associated with Karbala. But I think, Sayhan, you have a poem that speaks about the daughters of Karbala. So please, if we can.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. The daughters of Karbala. The daughters of Karbala, so brave and bold.
Oh.
Without them, the story of Ashura would not have been told. They experienced so many a trial and calamity, yet they saw nothing but beauty. They lost Hussein, experienced terrible pain, a pain which no one will experience again, because no one deserves to suffer so much pain. She was young. Her name was Ruqayyah. She lost her father and brothers on the day of Ashura. Ruqayyah had experienced so much grief, yet she was only 3 or 4. Was it all done? No, there would be much more. Under the sun, burning in Kufa, in Sham, suffering because of the enemy of Allah. She wished she could reunite with her father. She wished she could meet Fatima, her grandmother. She wished she could free herself from the dunya. She wished she could leave this world full of karb and bala. So her wish was granted by Allah Almighty. And Malik al-Maut came and set her soul free. Fatima Alila, a hero who was not even in Karbala. She had to endure the loss of her father and for months not being together. But still, she trusted in Allah. She kept on doing salah. She kept on doing dua. She kept her duties as a good Shia. So be patient, don't complain. This is the way of the winner. For if you are patient, Allah will be your helper. صل على محمد وآل محمد.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل Muhammad. I believe now, Hussein, you have a bit of a description as to how Fatima al-Alila is feeling, especially when it comes to her aunties and her sisters. What did she see?
It was narrated that Fatima al-Alila was sitting as she could see her auntie Zainab and her sisters speaking. She would want to go and talk with them, but when she would go, they would stop talking. And when she would go, they would carry on talking. Fatima al-Alila would continue to do this and do this. But she then saw her auntie Zainab got up and they all started to pack their things. But the one thing that breaks my heart the most is that Sayyidah Zainab told Sayyidah Ruqayyah, Ya Ruqayyah, do not forget your prayer mat, indicating that they need to bring all their things. Fatima al-Alila then goes to her room saying, shall I pack my things? My whole family is packing. So she starts to pack her things. But she then says, my brother Ali did not tell me to pack. She then unpacks. But then she packs again, saying, my family are going on a journey. I must be with them. So she packs again. But then she unpacks, saying, but my uncle Abbas did not tell me anything. Sayyidah Zainab then tells her brother Imam Hussein, Akhoya Abu Ali, oh my brother, your daughter Fatima is breaking my heart. It is as if she has sensed that she is not going to accompany us on our travel. Until everybody was ready and they were about to leave, Fatima al-Alila then realized that they are going to leave her behind. That is when Imam Hussein went to her and hugged her and said, as she said, oh father, shall I pack my things? I will of course be needing to join my family. Imam Hussein told her, oh my beloved daughter Fatima, you are still ill and this trip is not good for your health. I'm going to leave you behind and you will stay here. Some narrations say she stayed with Salama. Some narrations say al-Baneen. Imam Hussein then says, Fatima, when you become better, I will send your uncle Abbas or your brother Ali. But as we really know, they will not be able to bring her and they will all be martyred on their journey. Inna lillah wa inna ilayhi raji'un.
Ahsantum. Salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. We welcome now Mu'tazata to, it's a martyr again, and it's around the daughters of Karbala, I believe. Bismillah. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
جب مجھے آپ کے قاتل نے ہے مارا بابا، جب مجھے آپ کے قاتل نے ہے مارا بابا، ہر تماچے پہ سکینہ نے، ہر تماچے پہ سکینہ نے پکارا بابا، جب مجھے آپ کے قاتل نے ہے مارا بابا، جب مجھے آپ کے قاتل نے ہے مارا بابا، آپ کے سینے پہ آرام سے سونے والی، آپ کے سینے پہ آرام سے سونے والی، سو کے اب خاکی پہ کرتی ہے گزارا بابا، جب مجھے آپ کے قاتل ہے مارا بابا، جب مجھے آپ کے قاتل ہے مارا بابا، وہ جو دریا آپ نے تحفے میں مجھے بخشے تھے، وہ جو دریا آپ نے تحفے میں مجھے بخشے تھے، اس کو بے دردی سے ظالم نے اتارا بابا، جب مجھے آپ کے قاتل ہے مارا بابا، جب مجھے آپ کے قاتل ہے مارا بابا۔
Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Many thanks to Murtada Akbar Ali for his poetry and the marthiyah. Again, can I ask very quickly in terms of the definition and what it means?
So, this is Bibi Sakina talking to Imam Hussein. When your murderer, مجھے آپ کے قاتل نے، when your murderer، جب مجھے آپ کے قاتل نے ہے مارا بابا، and he slapped me on the face.
Hi. Wow. So yeah, this is just one incident, brothers, especially those young ones at home who might not be aware of the atrocities that actually happened to the young children. So it wasn't just the adults that had to go through so much physical pain and suffering through the sword and the spears and the rocks and the stones, but also the young children had to face chains and slapping and whips and all of that. And yes, it is graphic, but it just paints you a picture of what actually happened on the 10th day of Muharram. But not just the 10th day of Muharram, it's the 40 days that happened, the days that after the day of Ashura, in terms of what Sayyidah Zainab and the captives had to go through. We thank once again Hussein Teft, Murtaza Akbar Ali and Sayhan Jetta for their participation in this episode. Inshallah you benefited in learning more about the daughters and the children of Karbala. And inshallah we'll see you in the next episodes. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.